Hey guys, welcome back to a new Jetpack Compose video which is about side effects handling. And first of all, let's understand what a side effect is. In Jetpack Compose, a side effect is an operation that can affect the UI, but it actually happens outside the composable function. So let's say we want to show a list of products or a list of users or whatever, but we get those users from a database or a data source that is outside our composable function, and we call that from our composable function. So let's say it's a function in our view model that we call, and then it gives us that list of users. So the function that gives us the list of users is inside the view model, so it's outside the composable function, but we are calling it from the composable function, and it gives us a list that eventually will affect our UI. So we will show the list that the function gives us. And that's a side effect, because if we call it directly right there, we'll get some weird behaviors that we need to handle with side effect handlers. So in this video, we'll see two of the most important ones, which are launch effects and disposable effects. Of course, there are a lot more of these effect handlers, but I want to go through these two because they are the most important two. We'll also see another one called side effects, but we'll just actually look at it. We won't actually see an example of it. But as I said, we'll see launched effects and disposable effects because these are the most important ones and these are the ones that we'll use the most. So let's get started with the video. Okay, here we are now in Underwood Studio, and here let's see what we have for now. We have an activity in which we call our effects handler function, which is at the end a composable function that is a screen. Inside it, we have an instance of our view model. So let's check the view model first. Here it is. We have a state flow, and then of course it just has a name or a data, any type of data. It's a string. And then with this function, we load that name. So let's suppose we are getting it from an API. We simulate an API called delay, and then eventually we just update our state with the name. Here, this one just for logs, so we'll see why we have this line later. And then now let's not worry about this function. We will actually see it as well later. So now let's check our screen. We have an instance of our view model and then our state. And then all we do is that at the start of our screen, we call that function, which will eventually give us the name. Of course, here we observe that name state. As you can see, it's the same one. And then in our column here, we have a text that displays the name. So very simple. Now what we want to do is we want to run the app, but we also want to have a look at our logcat and see when we actually call this function, because we will see this log. So let's run the app. Right now, we don't have any side effects handling, so we're just calling it directly. As you can see, this will be a side effect at the end, but we'll see that. Okay, as you can see, it's called twice, even though we only call it once. But what's going on in here is that our function or our screen recomposes twice, and with each recomposition, actually the function is called. So what happens is that when we probably draw the column, our screen recomposes, and then it calls that. So the entire thing recomposes. When we draw the text, our screen also recomposes, and then it calls it a second time. But we don't want that. That's a side effect. We want to actually call this one only once. How do we solve this now? Because every time our screen recomposes, this one is being called, and it does affect our UI at the end, because the thing that we get in here, which is the name, is exactly what we display in our UI. Now to handle this, let's go right here, launched effect. And this launched effect takes a key. This launched effect at the end gives us a coroutine scope. And with this one, we can pass a key that can be, for example, true. And whenever this key changes, this block will fire off. So now we pass true. So we'll actually fire it off the first time. But then true can never be false. So it will never fire off again. So it will fire off only once. This block will execute only once, even if our screen recomposes. The second time this block will be executed is when the screen leaves decomposition. So if we actually navigate away from the screen and then we come back to it, then this of course will execute again. But if our screen is just recomposing, then it won't actually do that. So we pass this one in here. The key can be anything, can be true if we want to fire this off once, or can be unit, for example. This again will fire off once. If we want to actually execute this every time our state changes, then we can actually have our state as a key or anything else as a key. So if we have some variable that changes to a state or anything, in my case, I want it to fire off once. So I will pass unit or true. It will be the same thing. Now let's check our logcat again. Let's actually close the app and then run it. Let's check our logcat. It's called only once. Now we don't have that side effect anymore. as you can see with this block because it's launched only once. Great. Now to see when this actually can be really useful, we'll actually create another thing, which is a function here that actually changes our state. So let's just bring it back because I just deleted it. Add to name, and we just add this little new text to our name. So it plus new. So we just add something else. We can of course have it like this, but I think this is clearer. And then in our screen, we will have a button that calls that. So button, let's have a text inside it that says change, for example, name, or add to name, or whatever. Inside here, we'll use our view model, my view model dot add to name. So this one now will just call that function that will add to that name. And let's say now we are not handling this effect. Let's place our lookat and then just run the app, and we'll see what will happen now and why we need to handle these effects. Now we call it twice because again with each recomposition we call that function, but let's just say I want to add something to my text or to my name. I call it and it's actually calling twice again. I click it and it's actually calling twice again. And why is that happening? Because every time I add something to my text and I observe that text or that name here, and so I redraw this, so my screen recomposes, and then during the recomposition this one is also called. So how to solve this? With a launched effect. So here, launched effect, as I said, I want this to fire off once so I can pass through. Have this one inside it, and then let's just run the app. Let's delete the lookat. Let's actually rerun it because we had some logs in there. Okay, now it's fired off once. I click the button, I add something, but I never recall load name again. I click, I can add as many text as I want, but I never call it because it's handled. That's an effect, or that's a side effect that is handled. So that's for launched effect. We have another one that is called side effect. And this one is for those effects that don't actually affect our UI, but we still need to call them. And this one will be fired off every time our screen recomposes successfully, okay? But we don't use that one often. Of course, there are cases in which I want to use it, but as I said, I want to actually show you the most important ones, which are launched effects and disposable effects. We have more, and in future videos, I will actually explain the other ones. So now we see why we need this launched effect. The second one is disposable effects. And with disposable effects, we can simply clean up the resources that need to be cleaned up when we actually leave our screen, or when our screen leaves the composition. So when we navigate away from our screen, if we have any resources that need to be cleaned up, we can actually clean them up with disposable effects. And mostly we use that one with video plays. So here's the Ktor player project that I created in one of my videos, and I used the disposable effects. So what I do right here is I have an instance of Ktor player, and I release it every time I leave the screen. I navigate away from the screen, I release it, because otherwise it will take place in memory, and it's a resources that needs to be cleaned up. So disposable effects needs to be finished with onDispose, which just says when I actually leave the screen, or when the screen leaves the composition. In that case, I want to release my Ktor player. I want to free up the resources. And then also I want to remove any observer that I have in my life cycle. As you can see here, I have this observer, and then when I actually leave the screen, again, I just remove that observer that I added right here, and I put the key as my lifecycle owner. So when my lifecycle owner changes, then it will fire this off. Okay, so that's what's going on. Of course, I just use this lifecycle owner to get some callbacks when my screen is on resume. I want to resume my Ktor player, and then when it's paused, I want to pause my Ktor player again, and so on. So that's why we use disposable effects. We usually use it for things that needs to be cleaned up when we want to leave the screen. So now we understand why we need disposable effects and launched effects. Of course, I will create more videos in which we see the other ones that we have, like for example this one, derived state of, and also we have something called snapshot flow, and many more. But now, as I said, I just wanted to show you the most important two ones to us. So that's it for this video. See you in the next video, and bye.